Hello and welcome to today's episode of 3D Drawing for Model Railways. Previously we've been working on this brick wall, adding the archway in and the pipe in. In today's lesson we're going to use some more tools to be able to copy the whole body and extend this a bit more towards looking like a building. So previously I've done a bit of maths to work out how wide I want my building to be. I've decided I want it to be 16.8 millimeters wide. So what I'm going to do is draw on the back wall here just a small box in this bottom corner, just 1 millimeter by 1 millimeter, and I'm going to use that as a guide for my distance. I'm then going to extrude that out, and I know that my wall thickness is 1 millimeter, so I'm going to extrude this to 14.8 millimeters, knowing that I'll have a millimeter here to make 15.8, and then when I copy the body I'll have another millimeter on the other side to make the 16.8 that I'm after. I'm going to tell it to join and click on OK. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to come up to my family tree up here. I'm going to select my body with my left mouse button. I'm going to do right click, move copy. I'm going to have move type set as free move, and I'm going to create copy down in this little tick box here. That will then create a separate body here that you can see, and I can drag that away from the one that I previously had. Okay, I'm going to come down to a top view. I'm going to rotate that item around 180 degrees, like that. Once I've then got it rotated, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to here and select point to point. And I'm going to zoom in on that corner here and select it, and then I'm going to come over to here, select this corner here, and you'll see the two of them will snap to each other. Okay. Once they've done that, I know that they're now in position. They're still two separate items. I can click on OK. So I've still got the two separate bodies. So I can go ahead and now combine those. The top here, select my target body as body number 1 and my tool body as body 11 and click on OK, and then joins become one body. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want the two ends here to be pitched. I'll have a pitched roof on them, so I'm going to select two surfaces, holding shift down as I click on both of them, right click, extrude. I'm going to extrude them up to the top here. Now clearly you can see that's only going to give me a flat roof. Now I need to turn the end here into a pitch. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to create a sketch on the top surface, because as you see the whole thing is one surface. So if I just try and drag the end up, it'll try and drag the whole of the four walls up. So I'm going to create a sketch on that top surface. I'm going to select line. I'm going to draw lines from the corners outwards, making sure they don't snap to either of these points here. And you'll see once I've done that, it will make the two ends completely separate. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is I need to fill in a line on all of these little marks where the mortar lines were, because otherwise as I extrude the ends, it will just extrude that little square upwards as well, so I'll have like the mortar line running vertically all the way up my end panels. So just fill all those in, and then I can select everything holding shift down as I select them. And right click, extrude, rotate it so we can see what we're looking at, and we can drag that all the way up. And tell it to join, click on OK. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is draw the brick sketch on the end panel here. Now I can't just copy the previous one we've had here, because on the bottom here we've got full brick length, we're only going to want half brick there. So if we copy this sketch that we had here round, we'd end up with the full brick being along the bottom edge rather than the side of the brick here. We want the full brick to be on the second row up here. So we'll create a sketch on that wall. Okay, so let's start a sketch on this side wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw the brick here, because we know this is a known size of 0.6 by 1.5 millimeters. And then we need to draw in the mortar line, which will be 0.6 by 0.2 millimeters. Okay, so then we need a brick below it. So we need a construction line that's going to go dead center there, downwards, and we're going to change that to construction line. Selecting that construction. Okay, and we're going to want a brick here. I'm going to do 0.75, sorry, 0.6 in height, 0.75 in length. I don't want to have that as a construction line. That needs to be solid. Okay, and then we're going to do the same on this side. So it's going to be 0.6 high, 0.75 long. Okay, and then we're going to need a line that comes from there downwards, and we're going to define that as 0.2 millimeters. And we need a line that goes from there in line with that, and also comes down. Let's just redraw that line in here. Okay, and we need a we're going to need a line up here, aren't we? So it's going to be in line with that one. 0.2 millimeters high here. Define the distance from there to there is 0.45, just so that it's fixed. And then we need to come across 1.5, 1.5, and we're going to need to come down 0.2, and we need to come along to there. Okay, so let's just check that's going to be all we need. That's going to go up there. Yep, looks good to me. So we're going to select all of these pieces here using the shift button, and then we're going to extrude by minus 0.2 millimeters, and then we're going to use that rectangular pattern, and we're going to select features. The object is going to be that we just cut out. The reason I've not gone all the way to the edge here with the sketch, if I come to the edge, it will then try and pattern round the corner, and then we'll end up with a hole all the way through the wall. So I'm just going to leave that, and I'll extrude that in a minute here. I'm going to select my directions along that bottom edge, and I'm going to come across by let's see what's going to be. It's going to be 13.6 minus 13.6, and I need to have 9 of them. Is that right? No. Okay, so what you can see has happened here is I've not got this extrusion all the way across to the top level. So I'm going to just go back in my history, go back to my sketch, select it, right click, edit sketch, and I'm going to draw a 2-point rectangle that's going to be in line with that. So it's going to be 0.2 by 0.2. 0.2. And then finish sketch. I'm going to go, that's still not fixed it because I've got to go back into my extrusion here, edit feature, and then with the profile I'm going to select that one as well, click on OK. That adds that little square into the extrusion, and now I've got my bricks coming all the way across. So the issue I've now got is I haven't got these bits filled in at the end here. Okay. Now again, if I do fill those in, I'm going to end up with an issue where it's not going to pattern properly. So it is going to need to be done manually, unfortunately. So let's try and fix that now. So we'll create a sketch on this face. First thing I'm going to do is a box here that's going to be 0.2, sorry, 0.8, do my maths properly, 0.8 by 0.2, and then we're going to do the same 2-point rectangle here. It's going to go there, it's going to be 0.2 high, and 0.45, and then we'll have a 2-point rectangle here, 0.2 by 0.65. If we select them, right click extrude to that wall, click on OK to cut that, and then we do the same on this side, draw on that face, and then do those 2-point rectangles here. So 0.2 by 0.45, and the same again here. 0.2 by 0.45, and extrude to that wall there, and click OK to cut them out. Okay, so now what we should be able to do is just pattern these all the way up. So we'll do the same before, rectangular pattern. We'll select features. We need to have the initial brickwork pattern that we've just drawn, which is that one, plus the pattern, plus those 2 extra bits we've just cut out. Direction, we're going to come upwards, and we're going to drag that up here. At the moment I'm not quite sure how high I need it. I'm just going to add in layers until it all lines up down the bottom here. So the mortar lines are all going to be lining up. So I'll try 14, compute. Okay, so that's slightly high. If I bring that down to 20, where's it gone? There it is, 20.9. Zoom in there. Do they look like they're lined up? Nope, let's change that to 8. Let it catch up. Yep, they look lined up. Okay, so now we've got the pattern going upwards. Does it look like high enough on my pitch roof? Yep. I'm not worried about the top bit here, because I'm going to cut these out in a little bit. You can see it's taken a while on my PC. Even this has got 16 gigabytes, so it's struggling a little bit with it. Okay, so there he is, finally caught up. I'm not worried about the edges of the mortar work here, because I'm going to put a pitched roof in here, so they're going to get cut out anyhow. But that gives you an example how we drew on that edge. Now we want to do the same on this from this edge, like this face, all the way onto the other face around there. So what I'm going to do is go back into the sketch that I'm after, which is, I believe it's that one. Yep. Edit sketch. I'm going to select all of these parameters on the sketch. I'm going to do right click and copy. Finish the sketch. And I'm going to turn my wall around and come onto this one here. Create a new sketch. And then right click, paste. Okay, so there's my sketch in here. What I need to do now is position this correctly. So I think this needs to come all the way to the other side. I'm going to do point to point, select that point there and that point there. Okay, and now I've got that sketch on that wall. I can do finish sketch, and I have to redefine it, unfortunately. So go back into my sketch. Just going to define distance from there to there, and from there to there. And you can see how most of it is starting to catch up now. I just need to keep working on all these defining until it is fully defined. That edge to that edge. I'm going to go from trying to work out what needs defining here. What I'm doing here, moving this around so it's undefined, and I'm going to undo that. I'm going to do define that point to the corner is 0.65. Hopefully that will catch it. No. Okay, let's go from that edge to that edge and see if that will define it. Let's caught some of them. So define there to there. There we go, starting to get there now. That edge to that edge. That edge to that edge. There we go. So we've got these defined. So we do the same as before. We're going to extrude these elements in here that we did before. Right click, extrude by minus 0.2. Good. And then ask it to pattern those features again in that direction. And we did distance of 13.6, and there was 9 of them. And then clicked OK. So that's another way of copying sketches across. Now I could go and copy these other ones again, but it's just as quick for me to draw these in. So I'm going to create a sketch on here. And we wanted 0.8 by 0.2, and there to there, 0.2 by 0.45, sketch from there to there, 0.2 by 0.65, and there to there, 0.2, 0.45, to there, again 0.2 by 0.45, and then I'll select all these blocks that we've just drawn. right click, extrude to that face, to cut. Okay, and then we're going to do that rectangular pattern again, and we're going to select that feature, that feature, that feature down the bottom here. So the extrusion for the main bit, the pattern, and then the extrusions for the little bits on the end. Select the direction coming upwards. Can't remember how far we went. I think it was 20.8. And I'm just increasing the number of patterns. There, 14, I think that's right. There you go. And again, you can hear that it's going to take a little while to just whir away to compute that. Okay, so that's quite a long episode we've done today. What we'll do is we'll leave that there for today. We'll come back to finishing this off on the next episode. We'll be looking to trim off the pitched shape on each end, looking to add a doorway in, and then we'll start looking to draw the roof on. Hope you've enjoyed today's lesson. If you have, please leave a comment below, hit the like button, and please subscribe. Thanks for watching.